Imagine waking up one morning and your brain suddenly decides to become your worst enemy. You can't trust your thoughts, you can't trust your emotions, and sometimes you can't even trust reality. And the scariest part is this: many mental disorders can affect anyone, even someone who looks completely normal. Today, I'm going to explain some of the most well-known mental disorders, what they really do, and what they can feel like from the inside. And stay until the end, because the last part of this video might explain something about yourself or someone you know. Most people think depression is just being sad, but depression is different. It's like your brain turns the lights off. Everything feels heavy. Even getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain. People often say, but they have a good life. Why are they like this? Because depression isn't always caused by what happens outside. Sometimes it's a real illness happening inside the brain. And the most dangerous part is that depression can convince you that nothing will ever get better. It can also destroy appetite, sleep, energy, and even memory. It doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you live. And now let's talk about something extremely common: anxiety. Anxiety is not just stress. An anxiety disorder is like your brain is stuck in danger mode. Even if you're safe, even if nothing is happening, your heart starts racing, your breathing changes, and your mind starts creating worst-case scenarios. What if something bad happens? What if I lose control? What if everyone is judging me? It's exhausting because the fear feels real, even when there is no real threat. And over time, anxiety can shrink your world. You stop doing things, you avoid risks, you avoid people, and you slowly start living in survival mode. Now imagine anxiety becoming even more extreme. Imagine your brain forcing you to repeat the same actions again and again. This is OCD. Obsessive-compulsive disorder is not just liking things clean. It's a mental prison. It starts with an intrusive thought. My hands are dirty. I left the door unlocked. I might hurt someone by accident. And even if you know the thought is irrational, your brain won't let it go. So you do a ritual. You wash your hands. You check the door. You repeat something. You count something. Not because you want, but because your brain tells you. If you don't do it, something terrible will happen. OCD attacks what you care about most. If you love your family, your brain may create thoughts about losing them. If you're afraid of being a bad person, your brain may create thoughts that make you feel guilty. And the worst part is this: people with OCD know the thoughts are irrational, but they still feel trapped by them. Now let's talk about something many people misunderstand. ADHD. ADHD is not just being hyper, it's like having 50 tabs open in your brain, and someone is constantly clicking between them. You want to focus, but your mind jumps away. You want to do something simple, but your brain refuses. Many people think ADHD means laziness, but often it's the opposite. People with ADHD want to do things, but their brain struggles with time, organization, memory, and consistency. And what people don't realize is that ADHD can create emotional chaos too. Small problems feel huge. Rejection feels painful. Motivation comes in random waves. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you can't even start, and that can destroy self-esteem. Now imagine something even scarier. A moment where your body suddenly thinks you are about to die, even though nothing is happening. That is a panic disorder. A panic attack can feel like your body is exploding. Your heart pounds. You can't breathe. Your hands shake. Your chest hurts. Your vision feels strange. Many people think they're having a heart attack, but it's your brain triggering an alarm for no reason. And after it happens once, you become terrified of it happening again. And the fear of fear becomes the trap. Some people stop leaving their house, not because they don't want to live, but because they don't want to experience that terror again. Now let's talk about something that destroys confidence quietly: social anxiety. Social anxiety is not just being shy. It's feeling like everyone is watching you, judging you, waiting for you to make a mistake. You speak and immediately you think, that sounded stupid. I'm embarrassing myself. They're going to laugh at me. Even if nobody is judging you, your brain turns a simple conversation into a dangerous situation, and over time you start avoiding people. And the more you avoid, the harder it becomes. And what's sad is that many people with social anxiety are actually smart, funny, and interesting, but their brain won't let them show it. Now let's move to a disorder that many people confuse with mood swings: bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is not just changing moods quickly, it's switching between extreme emotional states. One phase is called mania. During mania, you feel unstoppable. You have too much energy, You talk faster, you sleep less, you feel powerful. Sometimes you take big risks, spend too much money, make dangerous decisions, act impulsively, and it doesn't feel like a problem at first. It feels like you finally became the best version of yourself. But then comes the crash, the depressive phase. Suddenly you lose energy, you lose motivation, you feel hope. It can feel like your brain is a roller coaster you can't control, and many people don't understand why they keep destroying their own lives until they finally learn what bipolar disorder really is. Now imagine your brain forcing you to relive a terrifying moment again and again. This is PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder often happens after a traumatic experience. It could be an accident, violence, abuse, war, or even intense bullying. The brain stores the memory like the danger is still happening. So the person experiences flashbacks, nightmares, sudden fear, and constant tension. Sometimes a sound, a smell, or a place can trigger panic instantly. It's like the brain refuses to move on. It keeps living in the past. And PTSD can also make people feel emotionally numb. Some stop feeling happiness. Some stop trusting anyone. Some become constantly angry, not because they want to, but because their brain is still trying to protect them. Now we reach one of the most misunderstood disorders in the world, schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is often portrayed in horror movies, but the real condition is far more complex. Schizophrenia can cause hallucinations, hearing voices, seeing things that aren't there. It can also cause delusions, believing something that isn't real. For example, believing you're being watched, or that people are secretly trying to harm you. Imagine living in a world where your brain creates a different reality, a reality that feels completely real. And the scariest part is this. The person suffering from schizophrenia may not realize they are sick. To them, the hallucinations feel normal. That's why it's one of the hardest disorders to deal with. But now, let's talk about a disorder that is extremely common, and many people don't even know it exists. It's called eating disorders. Most people think eating disorders are only about food, but they're not. They're often about control. Anorexia can make someone feel powerful by eating less. Bulimia can create a cycle of eating and guilt. Binge eating can happen when someone uses food to escape emotions. The body becomes the battlefield. And what makes it dangerous is that the disorder lies. It tells the person they are never thin enough, never good enough, never safe enough. And even if they look unhealthy, their brain might still see themselves as not enough. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. Personality disorders. These disorders affect the way someone thinks, reacts, and connects with others. One example is borderline personality disorder. People with it can feel emotions at extreme intensity. Love feels like obsession. Sadness feels like the end of the world. Anger feels explosive. They may fear abandonment so strongly that they push people away before they can be left. And many of them don't want drama. They want stability, but their emotions hit like storms. Another example is narcissistic personality disorder. This isn't just being confident. It's often a deep insecurity hidden behind a mask. Some people with this disorder need constant validation and feel empty without attention, and that can damage relationships deeply. Now here's the truth. Mental disorders are not weaknesses. They are real conditions that affect the brain. Some are caused by genetics. Some are caused by trauma. Some are caused by chemical imbalances. Some are caused by a combination of everything. And the scariest part is that many people live with a disorder for years without realizing what's happening. They think they're broken. They think they're lazy. They think they're failing. But sometimes they were never taught what was really going on inside their mind. And the saddest part is that many people suffer in silence because they are afraid of being judged. But now let me tell you something shocking. Some of the most dangerous mental disorders are not the rare ones. They are the ones that look normal, because those are the disorders that can destroy someone slowly, without anyone noticing. And that's why understanding mental health is so important. Not to label people, not to judge people, but to recognize suffering before it becomes something irreversible. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment below which disorder surprised you the most. See you in the next one.